Okay, so what's up? I went and the shit that's happening with my phone here. I decided to go into my analytic data and look at the panic log for today. Hey Siri, what's today?
It's Thursday, February 22nd, 2024.
Okay, it's today. I did a search for today. RTC reporting message log. Okay, this comes up. I look at the timestamp on it. Right now, I took a screenshot of this because it tells me that it was today. 13:34 in 6 seconds. That didn't happen yet. Okay? You see that? That didn't happen yet. That's an hour and a half from now. It says Gonzo, flush messages, Like, so what is this? Now here, we'll go back to here. Here is the screenshot of the actual, I took this at 12:03, okay? So what is this? According to this didn't happen yet. AirPods telemetry. Huh. That's interesting, isn't it? AirPods telemetry. I haven't used my AirPods at all today. At all. That's very interesting. So I'm going to have to make sure I do something about this here. So are my AirPods hacking my shit or what? Why is the AirPods telemetry show up on my panic log, my analytic data for today with a timestamp showing the time that hasn't even happened yet? Please help me out there. And let's go ahead and look at and see what else we got here. Oh, it just closed. I opened the settings back up to look at the analytic data. The app just closes, right? So let's go back to here. Go back to privacy and go down to analytic data, right? Because I like I said, I noticed how my analytic data, it was one of the more popular videos out of 400 and some videos. The one where I showed a bunch of analytic data was more popular. I got more views than 400 and some other videos. So that's significant. There's something up with that. So I'm going to, look into it even more. So you can do this too if you have an iPhone. You go to your analytic data, you go to the top, and then you can search each day for which, and type in the date, and it'll come up with the date appears in the log, which every panic log entry has a date on it. Should. So you start with the year. So 2024 dash, and then the date, and then the month 02 dash 22. Okay, and that's going to give me today. Now if I delete that and put a 3, see, tomorrow, that hasn't happened yet. If I put a 1, this is yesterday, where I got, there's 3 of the Wi-Fi LQM metrics. If you look at the day before that, there's a ton of them. There's like 11 or 12 of them fuckers, right? So if you look at the day before that, 19th, right? Oh, there's a few of them that day too. So if we look at the 18th, nothing. Look at the 17th, that's it, those 2 things, that's it. Look at the 16th, you know what I mean? Mobile software update. I think that's when I updated my phone. So there was an error when I updated my phone, I guess. 15, low battery. 14, authentication service agent. So it's interesting. This can tell you a lot about what's going on with your device. So this right here, reset counter. This is something that I've seen. If I go to do a hard reset on my phone, you would think I'd be able to do a hard reset on my phone without an error, without an entry getting logged into my panic, into my analytics data. But I can't do that. I can't do a hard reset on my phone. If I do a hard reset on my phone, this shows up. This shows up in my panic log. I don't think that's normal. Okay? because that means there's an error, right? And it says basically, according to this, it's having a fault, right? Boot failure count 1, reset count 0, boot stage 0 times 41, boot app, that app right there, that boot app, whatever that boot app is, okay, that boot app, number 2681261667. And then there's an ID and a revision 11. Here's the incident identifier, crash reporter key. Here's the date. This was on the 13th at 11:03 a.m. See, and it even shows minus 500. That means that's minus 5 hours from universal time, which is what my time zone that I'm in, on the East Coast time zone. That's 5 hours. We're 5 hours off of universal time. And this is, see, it has the iOS version, bug type 115, timestamp. It's 11:03 and 18 seconds, and minus 5 hours. The name, reset count. Roots installed, 0. Incident ID, there it is. There's the incident ID. Incident identifier, see, that's going to be the same thing, see? And then the crash reporter key. And these are just things for like the developers, to see how, what's wrong with their apps and stuff like that. That's what this data does. But this means that there was an error. There's a reason this got logged in there. They do a hard reset on your phone. It shouldn't be throwing an error. And this has happened from the beginning. I noticed this 3-4 years ago. That's when I noticed my phones were compromised. So I would do little tests, right? And I would try to get a brand new phone that I ordered online, refurbished, right? I'd get the phone brand new, and I would not hook it up to the internet or anything. I'd try to just start the phone, right? And what I noticed is I couldn't activate a phone even after they were sent to me. And I couldn't activate a phone without connecting it to my Wi-Fi, without connecting it to cellular data. It didn't matter. I couldn't get a phone where this didn't show up in the panic log. This reset counter, and this started happening right away, and this isn't normal, okay? So that's when I realized, okay, the phones are being compromised, right, before they even get to me, okay? And I discovered this, so that's why I pretended to send one back. I got it all ready to do a return, one of these phones, and I got the return label and everything else, and set it all up to send it back, and I put a box in the mailbox, okay? I made sure that people seen me putting this package in the mailbox to go out in the mail, okay? Now, the box was a dummy package. It was just an empty box that I wrote my mother's address on. That box, to my knowledge, never got delivered to my mom's. I don't know. Isn't that interesting, right? That box never got delivered to my mom's, to my knowledge. But when they seen me put that package in the mailbox, somebody else, okay, hurried up and went ahead and they sent the phone that I ordered to begin with. If it got intercepted by somebody and they had it, okay, when I did the return, that means they were going to have to send that phone back to that company, right? Because they would, if they sent me a phone, they intercepted it. They gave me their phone, swapped them. Well, whenever I went to send it back, they'd have to do that again. They'd have to intercept it again, right? And they'd have to send the phone back to them that they got to begin with, right? If that was the case, that's what would have had to happen. So when I put the fake box in the mailbox and outsmarted the fucking dumbasses, like 3 days later, I got an email saying they issued my refund because they got the tracking number because somebody sent them a fucking phone. I didn't. I sent an empty box to my mother's address across town. But seeing me put that box, okay, in the mailbox, just seeing me do that, that would have made somebody, oh, we got to hurry up and mail this out, right? And it caused them to send the box out. And then it's beyond their power. Once it goes out, that's it. They can't get it back. and I contacted the company and everything. They got a phone back. Somebody sent them a fucking phone, okay? I didn't. So what does that mean? Does anybody want to explain that? You know, what does that mean? That means that somebody that has to be involved with the Postal Service, FedEx, whatever, whoever, somebody has to be complicit in this. They had to have fucking hijacked my packages coming from Amazon and swapped my phone out. Unless you can come up with another explanation, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear how you explain how this happened. Okay? And then, when you can't, because you can't, I would like, for Nirvgorilla, I would like for you to address this issue, Nerve. Please, address this issue. Explain to me how that would happen, Nerve. And then, can you please acknowledge that that's very peculiar. That's very suspect, Don't you like to know everything? And don't you like to be able to explain everything? And when I'm claiming, gang stalking and everything else and all this manipulation and give you something that you cannot explain. You cannot explain it. You can't explain it away either. Right? So is that not evidence of something going on? It's not my schizophrenia. I promise that. I have the correspondence from Amazon from when I contacted them, and they contacted me back, said they absolutely got a phone, okay? And I have the order form for the original phone. The only thing I don't have is that phone because that was in the apartment whenever they broke in and arrested me at gunpoint in front of my son and then trespassed me and they stole all my shit. That was in that apartment. So I don't have that original, the phone. The phone would have been the one that they sent me, that would have been the one that they swapped out and, but at the same time, so would this one I'm holding in my hand, and so would every other one that they've, that they gave me and swapped for a different device. Because when I went to get a new phone at Sam's Club, okay, went to Sam's Club in Altoona to get new phones, there's a reason why I had an enormous amount of fucking people, gang stalkers, coming into Sam's Club and trying to bump into me, threaten to fight me while we're trying to get phones. They tried to disrupt that. We ended up eventually, we finally ordered it, right? We finally ordered phones. And it took two different visits, a couple hours each time. We had to go through all kinds of bullshit. Everything, nothing would work. It was craziness. You couldn't make this shit up, right? And then after we ordered everything, I even bought new phones, 2 new phones, so that I could trade them in for the trade-in value that day. Okay, and we did a transaction, we did a $900 and some transaction. The order went through. I have the order confirmation. And then 2 days later, well, it was 3 days later, I think, I finally get an email that came the next day, but it didn't, not on my phone. I didn't get this email until 3 days later saying that I canceled my own order. Okay. And my mom, the transaction for the $900 some transaction, it's it just never happened. It's it never happened. And it's crazy because we spoke with somebody on the phone. We called the card company on the phone because the card wouldn't work at first, of course, of course. And then we spoke with somebody on the phone for 20 minutes. And then they tried to put it through again, and then it worked at the end. It finally worked, and there was a transaction went through, and I have this order number, this order form. So maybe the order wasn't fake, because I got an email from AT&T saying that I canceled my own order, and I didn't get the email till 2 days later, right? And I even called them and spoke with somebody there, and the woman that I spoke with, she couldn't figure it out. She said that was very strange, that all she could tell on her end was that they didn't cancel my order. Somebody else did. So me. Somebody called and canceled our orders to get new phones. Why would they go to that much trouble to stop that from happening, right? Because the whole thing, right, the whole thing hinges around this fucking phone, your device, right? So if you're a targeted individual or whatever, you need to pay more attention to your device, the phone that you have in your hand, whatever phone that is. I think it's whatever they're doing, whatever experiment they're doing, whatever technology they're testing, and whatever else. It has something to do with that phone. That phone maybe that phone has some special technology in it that they're testing out. In conjunction with Neuralink and shit like that. And you are an experiment, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. But what I do know is everything I just told you is 100% true. And there's questions that I don't have the answers to, and I don't understand. Nobody can answer it, and nobody cares. That's crazy. Why doesn't anybody care about that? Why doesn't anybody care to look into that and get to the bottom of this and figure it out, right? That's what we need to focus on. That's what I'm going to focus on, right? And see if we can't figure something out, because right there, after I uncovered this and said about this phone, it was the next day that fucking cop tried to kill me the second time. The next day, I said about it, made a video about the phone thing, right? It was early on in my channel, on my YouTube channel, when I said about that phone thing, and I made a video about it. And Nirvgorilla attacked it too, and he said, "Oh, I'm a piece of shit because I didn't send a package back." He tried to twist it around and shit, which is funny, right? So I would like you to address this, Nerve. Right? Let's delve in. You're a good researcher, right? Let's delve into this subject and let's get some answers to this, okay? Let's see what you can come up with there. And if you can do that, maybe I'll trust you, right? But if you want to ignore this, then you just give me another reason to not trust you and to say that you obviously have some ulterior motive. So be good or be good at it. Peace out. Let's see if it'll let me stop this video here. Come on, you can do it. There we go. All right, be good or be good at it. Peace.